in all the discussions about Scott and Ben and some of the things that have been going on, one of the rumors that has been flying around is that they were teaching some kind of alternative syllabus in their classes and requiring extra reading that was beyond what the course was allowed for. So next up we have Caroline Stevens. She's one of the students for Scott, and she'll share a little bit about her experiences.
Okay, so this is about more than Ben and Scott, but you know, as a freshman student here, Ben and Scott are the issue that's closest to my heart today, really, and I've been Scott's student for the last 2 quarters of Dimensions of Culture, and I think the program has the potential to be really amazing. I mean, I come from a really conservative background, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things that I just had no idea that were going on. And the reason for that is basically Scott. I mean, he is the most dedicated TA that I've run into yet, and I've run into some really bad ones on this campus. He goes the extra mile. It's incredible. He's there and prepared for class every single day. He always has something interesting to add in to spark your imagination, to help you understand the readings better. He gets your papers that are like sometimes 7 pages back to you within like a couple of days, a week. I mean, and this is just for your benefit as a student to be able to progress, you know, faster within the quarter system. It's a very fast-paced system, so to have your work back to you quickly, that's amazing. That's something that a lot of TAs really, you know, just don't do and can't deliver. Also, I've heard the rumor that, you know, Scott has introduced other syllabi into his class, and that's an absolute myth. I can tell you as a student, he completely stuck to the syllabus of doc that was handed out on the first day of lecture for both of the quarters that I've taken with him. He did have us do extra, every quarter of doc, each section is required to do some presentations. In Doc 2, sometimes, you know, the TAs prefer to focus on just the court cases that are going on. And Scott actually took his time, once again, went the extra mile, found some readings that would supplement the court cases, I thought, perfectly. I mean, they really increased my understanding of why we were reading the cases and you know, what it was going towards. And so he took his extra time to be a model employee, to find the extra pieces to help students go the extra mile to understand better the course material, and I feel like now he's getting punished for that. So,
well, I very much appreciate the input, but again, we have a structure for handling it, and I'm delighted to hear that we have such talented TAs. I really am. And so those are the questions that I was referring to as fact-finding, being able to find those facts and provide, you know, what is just for our employees is, of course, a major high priority on my list. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. You know, I completely understand what you're saying, but as a student, I just can't understand why Scott is getting dismissed. And I can tell you that a lot of the rumors that I've heard about his, you know, his being an employee here are just that. They're rumors. And
we'll sort out the rumors and the myths from the facts, and then try to treat everybody fairly.
Wait, after he's gone?
Well,
it's taking too long here.
Right!
School left.
I sincerely hope that you do, because as a student, it's not really school that I can be a part of if we do not get to the bottom of this, which is why that you know, I've considered putting in transfer applications next year, because I can't be a part of a school that is doing this to its model employees.
I have a quick fact. I don't know how many of you know that 2 years ago Ben was awarded the Outstanding Scott was awarded the Outstanding TA Award for the program of Doc. That's a fact. It's another fact that no Doc TA has been let go with such satisfactory performances ever. And not in the last 6 years, so those are facts.
Exactly the facts that we'll sort out as soon as we possibly can.
Friday.
Excuse me, do you mind if I chime in for a second? I took Doc 2 with Caroline. We were in the same TA. I had Scott as a TA. And as she said herself, he's a great TA. He puts in the extra mile, the extra effort. Some people are claiming that these additional readings were required, that Scott made us read them, and that is completely false. These additional readings which he found were stuff that our class as a whole unanimously decided to do for our presentations, to give us the additional outlook and teach us more about stuff that was really watered down, the stuff like the critical race theory, asking the challenging questions, dealing with all the controversy, and it's just stuff that isn't really addressed in lecture itself. And in Scott's TA, I feel like I learned more. It gave me that extra perspective. They're trying to tell us that that's something they're teaching the class differently. They're not teaching it properly. I don't think there's anything really wrong with learning more.
I think providing information, providing facts will be very helpful in resolving these issues. If you can do that in writing, both of you, I think that'll be very good.
I actually turned in a petition with a letter to your office.
My office?
Just get out of the trash really
It was
quick.
referred to academic affairs. So I knew that there were positions going to academic affairs, but I didn't know they came to my office.
The issue is that you also made sure that the union has these documents. I mean, at this point, that's the
I've
fact
been in
finding
touch with
there.
Scott and Ben for a long time. I don't know if they've passed on your particular petition, but
That's right now where the fact finding is at a critical stage, is to make sure that, you know, these kinds of things are available for people that are going to review the basis of.
So you have my pledge. We're going to look at these things very carefully. We'll do them as fast as we possibly can, from the faculty perspective and from the grievance perspective, and we'll do what is just and right.
And it is best for these things to be in writing. It's very difficult to deal with them in the vehicle other than writing.
Well, I just want to end by saying that there have been a lot of people who have written emails, endorsements, letters, students from Marshall, students outside of Marshall, people who aren't even within this university with their concerns. And so
I have received petitions. I don't remember seeing something about the content of the course, which will be a relevant fact for the grievance.
well, and I certainly urge the administration takes every priority as possible to
You have
deal
my
with this
pledge, so we
issue.
will do exactly that.
Well,
Okay, thank you for coming by today.
thank you, Jensen.
Thank you all.